Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? We are now at the week 3 review. One of the crazier witching hours we've seen in the NFL, not even with necessarily great games, but it turned into them and some weird endings and a whole lot of special teams and defensive just craziness. So we'll break all that down. We'll break down another crazy week. Unfortunately, a rough Sunday night as Justin, they continually do this to him on Sunday night in prime time. We'll break that down and more as we're here for him. And I know a lot of other teams had some down weeks, but some others got back. So kind of a flip-flop for from some teams, the Bears, the Packers, the Raiders, some flip-flopping going on there. So we'll break it all down. We'll be ready to go. Justin, are you ready?
For some reason, Zach, I had my cursor over leave the podcast instead of the intro song. So that kind of tells you where I'm at mentally right now.
Yep. Hang in there. Hang in there, and Burke. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay. I be going hard every day, shooting far, NBA, NFL, on replay, MLB, major wave, other artists, minor league. I wish we could stop and see who was in your top 5. Scratch that, top 3, MJ, LeBron, and every other discussion. Cross you up while the shooter in the corner be cutting. No, I'm new to the game, call this my introduction. While these topics hitting harder than the snare and percussion. Why do all these other sports opinions always go and lack facts? Only real place left to listen? How about that?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the How About That podcast presented by Bleacher Heads. You can check them out at bleacherheads.com. Fall season's getting upon us. The sweatshirts there, the best bang for your buck, $35 for just high quality, soft. Every person that I've talked to who's gotten a Bleacher Heads sweatshirt that says, I can't believe that they cost this much money and they're this comfortable and the quality's this high. So if you haven't gotten one yet, go check them out, bleacherheads.com. Zach, how are we doing today?
We're good. Good weekend in Nashville. Was at the road Colts game. Shout out to the big guy W for hosting and joining at the game. Rocked a Costanzo jersey, which we love to see.
Wow.
So he's doing his part. I think I might be joining you to a degree, and it makes me sick because I hate when weather impacts games, but the last 2 road games I've been at, it has been so damn hot that I'm beginning to just want bad weather games and just experience them. This one wasn't nearly as bad as the one in Lambeau last year, but the second half, it was scorching. Thank God we took care of business, and I left early. So it was gross. But glad to be home, glad to be 3-0. Good weekend.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than as a guy who loves outdoor stadiums and like the elements, there is nothing worse than the hot one because I think everyone's miserable. Like heat misery, everyone just is like, this stinks. When you get like the rainy misery or the cold misery or the snow misery, I think everyone's just like, this is so absurd. Like, let's just have some fun with it. So I would agree with that statement there. Glad that you all were able to enjoy a nice win in Nashville, a place that I feel like Colts fans don't really like, having to play it. So it was good to change the tides there. I know personally it's an interesting conversation. You had mentioned the witching hour. Were you driving then when all of this was going on?
Yeah, so I was driving the first 2 hours because in my head I'm like, okay, we got a 4-hour drive home. I left early. I'm like, if I start, because Nina's well aware of what I want to do on Sunday. She's like, I don't want you driving if you're gonna be looking at games. Fair.
Yeah, fair.
So like, I'll start so that I can watch the second half of all the 4 o'clocks. So I thought I was nailing it. And then I got the most all caps texts I've ever got. Like every game was just, and they kept getting them. And then so by default, then I end up checking the scores, and I just didn't even know what was happening. The Bucks were losing at one point, and then the Packers lost. I didn't even know the Packers game was tied. So yeah, I had no clue what was happening. It was insane.
I was at the air show on Sunday, and I did it last year. It's like Abby's, favorite thing to do. So we go, and you really only miss the 1 o'clock games. And my parents are in town. It's like, all right, we're gonna do it.
Yep.
So during the entire thing, like I'm just kind of monitoring, and I'm like, all right, everything's going the way I want it to.
Yeah, boring
right now.
Yeah.
Like this is a great Sunday. I'll be home for the 4 o'clock, sit on the couch. and the Blue Angels are going off. Shout out to Blue Angels.
Yep.
And like they fly over you doing something, then they kind of like disappear. And every time I'm just sitting there on my phone, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. And then it was like kind of the start of it, and then I'm we're sitting in traffic getting off the base, and my phone's just blowing up. It was the same thing. And it was just like another one. Like Mitch is just sending things. And I had no idea what was going on. It was one of the weirder experiences of the witching hour. And then I get home and I'm like, what just happened and everything?
Yeah.
So definitely one of the more absurd witching hours I think we've experienced, because it was all blocked field goals, and we'll get into that. But yeah, definitely an interesting way to spend a Sunday afternoon.
It was. I know it's one of our topics, so we'll touch on it. Touching on Saturday real quick, because I also was able to watch some college ball. Look, Ryan Brown's one of our best listeners out there.
Yes.
He texts us after episodes constantly.
Yep, which we appreciate.
He's a great follower, a great listener, a great fan, and we appreciate that.
One of the realest fans, I think, in terms of sports I've ever met.
Yes. So I know he's going to listen to this. And so I want to be careful in how I talk about it. I was disappointed in the way Dylan played on Saturday. And I feel bad for him a little bit, even though he kind of has been annoying me because I've always been defending him. I think he's just in this weird, like, he has no identity. And it's affecting now the way he plays football. Like, these flick passes and I've never seen someone so nonchalant that it's not beneficial, like this just casualness. And I just hope he, as he gets older, matures and just figures out like it's okay to just be yourself, as like corny as that sounds, because the talent is clearly there. But man, tough loss, incredible performance by Michigan. Underwood, the stat line doesn't, it's not crazy, but every time they showed those top views at Memorial Stadium, I'm like, this place looks unbelievable. So incredible performance by Underwood, Michigan. But I hope Dylan figures it out. It's really just me hoping. I'm not trying to bash him, but it's not good right now.
Yeah, that game was, I think, the most in tuned I was on a Saturday game this weekend. And I agree. I did walk away a little bit disappointed. It's just, he does so many things really, really well, but it's like his bad is bad. And he holds on to the ball too long. Sometimes he tries to do too much. The pick, I don't think was anything like absurd. It was just a misread. He thought the defender was going one way. He didn't. Guy took a rake on the ball, got it tipped up in the air. The rest is history. But yeah, there's something missing, I feel like, with him. And then on the other side, you talk about Bryce Underwood, who's a freshman, and he comes in, and I agree the box score wasn't great, and maybe there was some plays that were missed, but I thought he played phenomenal for like a freshman first road game. He was awesome. And there is I feel like their talent's the same, but there is just a difference in how they carry themselves, and one guy showing it a little bit more on the field than Dylan, and I don't know what it is, but there is a lot of nonchalant. I don't know if I feel like it's stuff that can be trained out of him, and luckily he's in a position where I think the keys of the team are his. I don't think they're going to move off him anytime soon. He has to be in the college football for another year. So I think there's a lot of things that are beneficial for him, and hopefully he figures it out. Because when he's on, like, Nebraska truly is a difference maker. And I don't know if I blame all of Saturday on him. I think they let up a lot of
they can't stop the run. They can't stop the run. Yeah.
And that was terrible. Like,
this isn't another loss because of Dylan. Yeah.
There was that drive to end the game where I think they were down 7, and it was just like downs. Every time I was at, I think, dinner at this point, and I was just on my phone. It'd be like 39. You're like, all right, they're gonna get the ball back, and it's like first down. You're like, okay, what's going on here? Right. So it was a great game. I think Michigan beyond impressed. With how, and like if Bryce is there for 2 more years after this, watch out.
Well, then we're talking about Bryce and what's his name from Cal, who you love and we love.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that game.
I watched a little bit. It was clear that, like, look, Cal, there's a reason people had Cal under like 4.5 wins. That was their win total this year before they even knew what he could do. That it finally caught up a little bit. I love him. That doesn't bother. What's his name? Why am I?
JSF. It's JSF.
Well, now there's the kid from Maryland.
JFS.
There's the kid from Maryland who goes into Wisconsin, who, granted, it's not a good Wisconsin team, but another freshman, Malik Washington, and they kill Wisconsin on the road. His first road game as a freshman. So this class is becoming filthy. And we are really lacking quarterback play. Like we'll talk these NFL games, college. Like I don't think quarterback play has ever been worse. Like across the board, college, NFL, everywhere. Like we don't develop anymore. It's all one read, fast tempo, and you're seeing the result of it. So it's refreshing because I think there's a real issue with quarterback play across the board.
You make a great point, and I think there's an interesting case study, and I would love for somebody with more technical abilities to make like an hour-long YouTube video on it, because I would 100% sit down and watch it and take notes, because it is weird. And like this quarterback class in college was supposed to be the quarterback class. All of these quarterbacks are terrible. Well, not terrible, but relative what the expectations were.
Yeah.
There seems like there's no value. I can't think of 2019. When was the last time we had a quarterback class where it's like was it the Rosen class, like 2017?
Yeah.
Like, was that the last one? It's been too long, and it is refreshing to see these freshmen come in, and we just named 3 of them, and who you just look at them like, man, if we can just develop them the right way,
I know,
like they have all the attributes, these are going to be guys who I hope in 2 years we're talking about how this is finally the QB class. Yep. So it'll be interesting to monitor. I didn't watch any of the Maryland games, so I can't talk about him. JSF or JFS. I fell asleep after the first quarter, and it was 0-0, and I woke up, and they lost 34-0. But that first quarter, dude, he had like 3 balls that were I mean, he could have not placed it in a better spot.
His pocket
like, you couldn't have taken the ball and just put it in the wide receiver's hands better, and they were all dropped. So,
and I apologize. We didn't mention one other guy who you watched, and I can't believe we waited this long. I know things haven't been going great for you.
Yeah.
The damn Red Raiders go on the road and blow out Utah in the morning. Blow them out. And you watched a freshman, because I was gone, and you're like, at first you're like, oh no. And then you're like, hey now, this kid's putting it in the bucket.
There's another
Austin Hammond? Austin Hammond?
Yeah, Hammond.
Yeah.
It was interesting because, I was, what was I doing before? I think I was just I don't know, parents were in town, so we were just doing something at the boardwalk. And I get home, and Burt Morton is out. And I'm like, okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. And this guy ran the ball well. They were on the ball well, but it was like they were not trusting him to just throw some shots. And he threw one, and you're like, wait a minute. Okay, that was a bit of a bullet into a spot. Let's see what this is. And that's when I sent the text. I was like, if they can, like, they just have to take a shot, and they let him loose. And it was so impressive. It was so impressive what he was doing. So it's another guy, and I don't want to say there's a quarterback controversy, because I don't think there truly is. But he was, I think, a 4 or 5 star out of Austin, Texas. He was supposed to be the guy to get the keys, and you look at him, you're like, this is a guy who has the potential to be great. So it is just another thing of this quarterback class. Hopefully, if 3 of these guys can pan out, we'll see something maybe.
Yeah, because the last part of that is this current quarterback class, where now I think the number 1 quarterback on some boards is Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, that's a problem for
from
me.
IU. And I mean, they did it again. They did it again. They're real. They're real, and I think they're better, and they have a better quarterback. I think they have more talent. They're going to be in the playoff.
Yeah. They play Oregon and Penn State, which I think they can beat both of them, which is stupid to say.
No, they're real. Yeah. They're really good. Like, I've seen him, or like, if you're doing Lenoris, like, Lenoris is way more polished than AR, but you're still talking about a guy where you're really betting on the athletic ability, and he's been injured a lot. Like, I don't know, this class just is not proving. And I'm kind of done with it. I just want someone who can throw the football. I'm done with the athlete project.
And that's what I was about to say is I don't know what it is with quarterbacks these days. I don't know when the change was. Like, was it Josh Allen? Why did all of a sudden guys who can run the ball, and I get it's dual threat, but if we look through the history of time, like, remove Steve Young, and before any of these guys, none of them could run. Like, why can't we just get a guy who can throw a football really, really well, and that's his position?
I think you said it. I think Josh Allen's improvement, I think someone tweeted this too, but Josh Allen's trajectory in his career arc has ruined the way we think of quarterbacks, because he is such an outlier for the way he improved and developed as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, no one is like that or can develop like he has. Like, because he was that bad. But so I think everyone now has this thing where you just get the athlete and then you mold the quarterback when it's just not how it works. It's just not. Like, you got to be able to sling it, process, play the game.
And I think Lamar is maybe the other one that's an outlier, and it's funny that they're both in the same class. But I feel like we've seen quarterbacks like Lamar, and his just ability to run is just insane. Where Josh Allen, I know he can run, but it is that the arm talent was absurd. And Mahomes honestly falls into that too. Like, we just had this generation of quarterbacks was so different from the Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Ben Roethlisberger, Phillip Rivers, Eli Manning generation, where like, now this is what we need to do in the modern NFL, and we just run RPOs and everything. And it is you read the defensive line and you find the one read and put the ball on him. But I hope the game's changing back the other way, because it is not as fun to watch. It is a lot harder to develop. It is a lot more of a lottery pick. And I think any of the rookie quarterbacks we've seen or young quarterbacks we've seen that have been successful are guys who just throw the ball well. They're knowledgeable about the game. Like, they're not doing anything crazy. So it is going to be interesting to see, and I agree. The thing with college football, like, how is Athan from Rutgers one of the best quarterbacks I've seen this year in college football?
Right, he's a pure passer. Like, he's one of the few pure passers at the Power 5 level.
He leads the league, or the nation, in passing yards right now, and it's not a fluke. Like, he puts the ball in places. Like, it is awesome to watch.
He's got a live arm. He's got a live arm. I don't know, but I think there is a trend back to it. Like, it's awesome to find the Jaden Daniels and the Lamars, but like, no one's a statue anymore. Like, everyone's growing up. Like, everyone's an athlete now. So as they can move enough, right? You just got to have someone that can do it. So
we're not having a lot of 10s out there who, like, we didn't. Yeah,
I was literally
we didn't move in Fishers. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the 10 in New York. Look, I think I fit the example of they moved enough. They're not a statue.
No one will forget the HSE run.
Thank you. I think I had a low sack rate. I was about to just compliment you at a statue in New York and won 2 Super Bowls. But no, let's bash me for being a statue in the pocket. That's ridiculous. Anyways. It's fair.
No, I was just that was
credit to Ryan Brown. He knocked my helmet off one play. So there
I forgot that it was him.
Yeah. So
first down though.
Yeah, we scored on the next play, which I kind of didn't like, but that's a selfish thing. All right, here we go. Let's talk about the NFL. Weird week, weird results, but there were some great games. What was your favorite watch of the week?
My favorite watch, I think, was one of the games I was most excited to watch, Denver Chargers. A game where it was two defenses who were playing out of their minds, I thought. Like, both quarterbacks were getting hit, but at the same time, it made us have to watch great play offensively. Guys making plays, Cortland Sutton, Quentin Johnson, like neither running game I thought was really well. Both quarterbacks made mistakes, but also they just made these throws and you're like, oh my God. Keenan Allen, like that touchdown to Keenan Allen at the end by both like that pass by Herbert, unbelievable. It was one of those things where it's like, that's the type of football I like to watch, where the defense sets the tone and it's like, hey, you have to be even greater on offense. There's going to be no flukes here. So it was a lot of fun to watch. I think, we can get into the Chargers a little bit. I know you have some things to say about them. Denver, it's a weird 1-2 because I don't hate the 1-2 at all. I feel like they could be 3-0. Now, obviously, I think the division is out of the picture just because the Chargers are 3-0 with 3 division wins. Their probability to win that has to be so high. But if you're Denver, it's like, hey, our 2 losses are to 2 undefeated teams. And even though they're scheduled, they play, I think, the Eagles in 2 weeks. After that, I think they have a run of games where they can just kind of get really, really, in stride. So if you're a Denver fan, I think you're disappointed to be 1-2, to be in this spot. You think you should be 3-0, to be completely honest, or at least 2-1. But there's a lot of teams I think they're in a better spot than at this 1-2 position. And I'll let you take over the Chargers talk.
Yeah, I had them as my most impressed, so it goes hand in hand. And I think this is potentially the beginning of the Justin Herbert MVP run. That throw at the end of the game, I don't think there's going to be a better play this year. I don't. You're running left, you're falling backwards, but Nick Bonito, one of the best rushers in the game, literally has a hand in your face, and you throw that ball to Keenan Allen, who's just turned back the clock, being back in LA. Like, they are just clicking. They're 3-0, 3 division wins. It can't be understated, like you said, what that means for their future. And it just feels like Herbert's in full control. Like, you're playing a Denver defense that got embarrassed the week before, pissed off, one of the best in the league, and they're flying around. Like, they're all over the Chargers' offensive line. And Herbert still throws for 300 and makes the key play late. And now we're talking about a Chargers team and an organization that scores late, gets the stop, kicks the field goal to win. Like, how many times have we watched that happen to the Chargers our whole lives? Like, It finally feels like Herbert and the Chargers have taken a turn here. And I think it's time to take them serious. Like, if Herbert's going to play with this confidence and be in this control of the offense, I don't know if I want to see them, because Jesse Minter does a lot of weird stuff on defense. They have just enough star power, and their quarterback is becoming a top 5 player. So, yeah, I'm all in on the Chargers. Denver, I think Bo's still leaving plays out there. I think he literally mouthed it at the end of the game. So I'm not. I mean, obviously we have our different opinions on Bo, but I think there's plays. What's encouraging is the offense is there and the plays are there to be made. I think he'll hit them. I think last year he was bad at the start of the season. He's just kind of doing it again. But I'm not worried about Denver. I think, like you said, they're going to go on a run.
Yeah, Bo. My thing about Bo Nix right now is I don't think he's losing them football games. He's had opportunities to win football games. Like, there's been plays that have been missed, which I think he would want back. I would want back as a Bo Nix truther. But I don't think the box score necessarily shows how well he's played, to be completely honest. Like, this entire game, he had pressure in his face every play. Yeah. And there was a couple drops. I think Cortland Sutton had one, or like, not really drops, but just like an inch overthrown, where it's like, man, if that ball is just 1 inch shorter, it's a touchdown. Yeah, there's a couple plays like that, and so
they ran a flea flicker. That was that play was right there.
That one was tough. That was in the first half. So it's like little things like that where the opportunities for big plays are there. We're not hitting them, but we're still competing. And if those big plays start hitting, because it was the same in the Colts game, this team can run away with anything. So I'm not too worried about them. And I think, for the Chargers, like you said, this is the Herbert that we wanted. They had mentioned that he lost some weight, and I don't know what that does for the body for him, but I don't know if that's a big effect. I don't know if Harbaugh is just kind of letting him play a little bit, not as rigid. I think offensively last year it was just a lot of, and I don't know if it was a lack of trust on the defense, but it was, hey, we're going to have to try to control this game with the run game, time of possession. This year they're just slinging it around, and it's a completely different ball club. And defensively, I mean, they have guys out, and they are making plays, man. They're all over the place.
It's crazy. And like you said, like, they can beat every bad team by running the ball and playing defense. Like, that's how they made the wild card last year. Yeah. But now, like you mentioned, it seems like they've untapped something where they can go further than we both thought they could. So, yeah, they're dangerous. Very impressive.
And Quentin Johnson, the step that he's taken, I don't know how he's done it. Didn't he drop the first ball in Brazil?
Yeah, he dropped. Yeah, he's still dropping one a game, but like,
but he's making these plays and he's making these catches where it's like, how does that happen? So, I'm happy for Quentin Johnson, because that was a guy who I don't think there was one person who said, I still believe in Quentin Johnson.
No,
and here we are.
And the people in Brazil are still asking, what are you talking about? Like, we know ball. Our eyes know. Yeah. That is, of course he beat Pat Surtain. That's Quentin Johnston. Like, that's receiver one. So no one in Brazil is surprised by this.
It's Quentin Johnston. Remember the name. Is that the highest selling jersey, the number one baby blue?
Yes.
In Brazil right now?
Kids are just trying to be like one in Brazil. That's all it is.
You know how, like, there was the run in the late 2010s of, like, Odell every time he caught the ball?
Yep.
Like, they're saying Quentin every time they yell the ball or catch the ball in Sao Paulo.
And also a good example of adversity, because maybe when they're acting like him, they maybe drop the first one, but then they bounce back and catch a couple big ones. So
next play mentality.
He's teaching a lot more than just being a role model. There's a lot of life lessons in there. So thank you to Quentin.
How funny would it be if in like 15 years or like 10 years, let's say, there's a Brazil wide receiver who comes out and it's like, what made you, I used to play soccer. Like, you call it, I guess you call it soccer in America. Like, what made you? He's like, I was at the Chargers Chiefs game in Brazil. And Quentin Johnson. Yeah, Quentin Johnson changed my life. He's the reason why I decided to play receiver. I wear number 1 because of Quentin Johnson.
I mean, if we got that moment, I would be just fully fulfilled with the game of football.
Yes.
That's all I would need.
I need to start tracking the NFL International program or the NFL Academy to see if we have any Brazil wide receivers coming out.
Brazil enrollment.
If they're wearing number 1. Yeah.
We'll keep an eye on it.
Yep.
Incredible game, though. 2 really good teams. 2 teams that felt like a playoff game and think we'll both see in the playoffs. So.
Yep.
My favorite watch was the Bears. My bold take was Caleb was going to throw for 300, win NFC Player of the Week. He threw for, I think, 298, 299.
Yeah, so you were wrong.
So I was
I was actually sitting there. I think he had like 264 at the start of the 4th or something. And I was sitting there laughing. I was like, how funny would it be if he fell short? And he did, and I was laughing. I was like,
I placed a wager to back up my take that he would lead the day in yards, and he lost by 2 to Herbert because they were up so much. But they were up so much. So just happy for the Bears, happy for fans, happy for Caleb. Again, this offense took a step. Look, when you're playing this Dallas defense, it has to kind of look like this. This defense is maybe becoming historically bad, but this team needed this in the biggest way possible. Like, sometimes you just need to see one go in, and they did in the best way. They were running the trick plays. Rome Odunze is looking like a receiver 1 every single week, more and more, like a true one.
Yep.
And Caleb just in the pocket, not sacked, clean game, wasn't looking to run. Like, you always talk about, like, when Caleb can improvise, it's special. Like, and we have to have that element. But if he can look that calm and this if he can develop this part, then you're like, okay, this is number 1 pick, because the arm strength is unbelievable, like the way the football pops off, and it's actually been his problem. Like in week 1 we're like, okay, this is the problem, but when it's good, it's no one can do it in the league.
There was some catch, I think it was like Cole Kmet. Did he catch a touchdown?
Yes.
It was like a 20-yard pass, I thought, and like when the camera stopped, I was like, I don't know how that didn't break. Like, I thought he was going to have to, like, run to the sidelines to ask for medical help. That ball came out of his hand so fast.
Yeah. As the great Pepper Brooks said in Dodgeball, hold the phone. He's got a cannon. That's what it feels like. I mean, he's just unbelievable. But it was fun. Like Dallas, now that CD's out, I mean, this team may not win a lot. I wish there could be, now I'm like, big braining things. Not that like Cincy would like do anything this year, but like I don't know how the soccer transfers work. But is there any way to send Dak to Cincy just for the remainder of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A loan.
Is that how it would work?
Yeah, I mean that they do that, and that would be awesome. It would be hilarious the amount of collusion that happens in the NFL if they allowed that.
Oh my god.
It would be so bad. Yeah. I would ship off all my players on loans to get some more cap space for next year.
Yeah. Like everyone, because every bad fan base is like, okay, trade him. When like it just never happens like that. Like one guy maybe gets moved, maybe, but the loans could change everything.
You get $6 million in cap space transferred over from the Bengals next year, and you just have Joe Milton playing, whose football looks slow, by the way, on television after watching Caleb win for 3.5 quarters or whatever. No, that would be interesting. From the Chicago side, I loved what I saw from Caleb. There was like 3 passes where I'm like, if we can start getting those completed, we're going to be running now. But they did. This was exactly what we wanted to see from them. We said this Dallas defense is so bad. We need some life. They had it. Ben Johnson was awesome. The buy-in clearly in the locker room after was great. From the Dallas side, they're bad.
They're bad.
Remember when Trayvon Diggs, when he first started this, everyone was like, "Is the best corner in the league." I just want to remind everybody. From day one.
That is like, one of the best takes.
Trayvon Diggs sucks. But I don't know where they go from here. It's hard to win football games when they're going to let up 30 points a game on average.
Yeah. And then now you lose CD for probably a month or two. So.
And now you have a mad Green Bay team.
Oh my God, that game Sunday is going to be. Yeah, Lord, I can't wait to talk about that. But good for the Bears. On the other side of the most impressed. Or I'm sorry. Oh, we're still on most impressed because we doubled up. So what was your most impressed?
As sad as it is to say, it's the Philadelphia Eagles.
Big of you.
First of all, very rare that the two number one slots of the Vizio three-team setup are like the best games. But what was the question I asked? Oh, I said that the Rams beat the Eagles as my bold prediction. I said that the Rams team, I think with this offense, they can get up early, and the question will be how do the Eagles respond? This is a team that does not throw the ball deep. They're just running down. Like, you can't do that against the Rams if you're up. What's this going to look like? Well, they answered that question pretty clearly. And they all of a sudden in the second half, they just said, yeah, A.J. Brown, by the way, we have him. We're going to force the ball to him. It worked out really well for them. And I think the most impressive part from that was the ability to come back, because that was the one thing we hadn't seen. We've seen them control a football game for 60 minutes, which is really awesome, but you're not going to be able to do that 19 times. Okay. We got to see it the other way. At home against the Rams, I think that just speaks a lot to how great this Philadelphia Eagles team is, as sad as it to say. Additionally, beyond that, one blocked field goal is whatever. Two blocked field goals is they were that third phase, like they had it cooking. I think Theo Ash had a great TikTok on it that popped up where it's like they flipped Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter from last year, and Jalen Carter literally just lifts the guard up every time, and they're able to get a hand on it. So I like that flip where you're like, that's coaching. That's a team figuring out how to win football games in the third phase, and it won them this football game. I mean, two blocked field goals in the red zone. The Rams' red zone offense has been an issue all year, but if they make one of those, this game is over, and the Rams win. They block both of them chip shots within less than 20-yard field goals. I think those are the hardest field goals to block because the kicker can put as much air on it. I think that speaks a lot to the third phase, and we'll get into all the blocked field goals, I'm sure, later on. But just a really impressive win that I think was I thought the Rams are going to be a statement win of like, hey, we're 3-0, we can win the NFC, and the Eagles just flipped it on them and said, no, we're 3-0, and the NFC is still ours to beat.
Yep, well said. I don't think the Rams, I don't think I came away from it losing anything except like from the first half, I'm like, okay, this is the team that can go all the way. Yep. I still think that was a game, like you said, they should have won. So I don't think anything changed on the Rams side, but I did become somehow more impressed with the Eagles because we were just waiting for this. Like, to just come from behind, pass the ball, downfield, use your weapons. Like, and it's like stupid we're applauding them for like utilizing A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, but that's how bad this has been. So, yeah, really impressive by Jalen Hurts. The Eagles are just... they just don't know how to lose anymore. And this felt like it didn't feel like the Chiefs-Broncos game last year with the block kick, but there was the element of it of like, how do you beat this team? Like, they really just can't lose. I think the Eagles have entered that zone, and it's terrifying.
Yep. Yeah, I would agree. And I mean, that second half, the first half offensively, they score on the first play, but after the first drive, they 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out. Those 3-and-outs combined were minus 10 yards. Another 3-and-out, and then the half ends. Like, I think they had negative yards total in the first half after that first drive. They're down. They fumble the ball to start the second half. Rams score. You're 26-7. You have not had positive yards since the very first drive. They go 5 plays, 80 yards, 13 plays, 87 yards. Then they have the downs, and then they go 17 plays, 91 yards. Like, hey, let's just turn it on real quick.
Yep.
So, just beyond impressed. That's just a thing where it's like, all right, they can beat you in any way, which I think is the scariest thing for an NFL team. It's one thing, like, if the script goes this way, as hard as it is for the script to go this way, there's a possibility for us to beat them. Now I don't know what the script is to beat the Philadelphia Eagles.
No. No, unless they get hurt, I just don't see this team losing. So
yeah,
they're terrifying.
Great for me. IU's making the playoffs, and the Philadelphia Eagles are the best team in the NFL. This is not a good year.
It's not a good year. Plenty of time.
I thought about it, Zach. Sorry to change subjects.
It's all right. Go ahead.
You're on the naval base. You're seeing all these people, what they do for their country. Thank you to the troops. And you're just like, man, like, what if when I'm up at 2 a.m. thinking last night, like, what if I just, dropped it all and just became a troop, just special forces. Like, I can't watch football anymore. Like, that's where I'm at as a sports fan. And it's not because of my teams. It's because my hated teams as well doing this.
You want to join the forces just so you don't have to watch football.
Just to avoid sports. That's where I was at last night. And now look at me. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm colorblind.
You didn't turn in any applications today.
No.
Okay.
No. We woke up. That was like we woke up and like, you're colorblind. You're skinny. You're not tough in any way. You're not going to do that. You can't do that. Yeah. But like, that's how I want to escape this sport. And it's beyond just my teams. It's what the Eagles and IU are doing. So
it's bad. It's bad right now. This could be just a really bad 2-3 year stretch right now. And I hope it changes.
I hope so too.
What were you most concerned with?
Most concerned was the Atlanta Falcons. And Zach, last year, 2 years ago, we had talked like after the Penix pick of like, this makes no sense. What happens if both of these turn out terrible? Right. And we had talked that Kirk Cousins doesn't work out well post Achilles. You know, the whole stuff of like, hey, we'll trade him, but we need picks and we need cap space. Like we're not just going to give him up. Penix has not beaten a team that scored more than 7 points. And I was never fully impressed by him. But it got to the point where he was benched against the Carolina Panthers, who, if I remember correctly, like defensively,
yes.
Yeah, no, defensively are not good. Two offenses that are all right, destroying them.
Yep.
To put up 0 points, like it was bad. He got benched. We had this conversation years ago, but now that it's panning out, like, where do you go from here?
Well, I can actually answer that because I saw today that Zach Robinson, the offensive coordinator, is going to go from the press box to the field. So that I would like to start a new thing where I would like to call it the stages of quarterback/offensive denial. So stage 1 is we're going to move the coordinator from the press box to the field or field to the press box because they either need to get a feel of the game down there or they can just see things better up top. That's stage 1. Stage 2, and you're laughing because your team is currently going through some of these. Mine did 2 years ago. Every team has. Stage 2 is we're going to flip who has responsibility. So it's the head coach is going to take it over for a second or vice versa, the head coach was doing it. He's going to give it to the coordinator to do it. That's stage 2. We're still not admitting what's really going on. Stage 3, and you are actually in stage 3 right now. We're evaluating everything. We're looking at everything. It's not just the quarterback, the offensive line. Evaluating everything. Right into stage 4, we switch quarterbacks. So now it can't be anything else other than we just need this new quarterback. Stage 5 basically ends it, is which we switch back to the original play caller, and then it's over after that. So those are the 5 stages. So how to answer that is the Atlanta Falcons are unfortunately going to have to go through 4 more stages because they are in stage 1.
It's going to be a long year.
Yeah.
I didn't see the play call
they just saw that tweet before we popped on. I just started thinking about it because my team has done that and your team is in it. I'm like, I know how this goes. I know exactly how this goes.
That was my favorite reply tweet of what about the Goodyear blimp? That's like our only other option. Let's have him see the entire field.
I just remember the summer when everyone was like loving Atlanta and you and I in the preview were like, I don't know why it feels like Penix played all of last year. He played 3 games and they beat the Giants, and when the Giants season was over, he played well on Sunday night, so everyone fell in love, but they lost that game. And then Bryce Young put up 50 at Atlanta against them. But then we just there was just such a weird assumption that Penix was just going to be a top 10, 15 guy. I didn't understand it. And this is kind of the result of it.
Yeah, and it goes back to, and I don't know if I guess it's different because they were in a different spot where they had to play Kirk Cousins. But it's like Penix wasn't put in because Kirk, or because it was like he was looking so great. It was because Kirk was terrible, and it was like, we have to flip. We have to flip this. So, yeah, I've never fully been impressed by him. I don't know what it is. I feel like they have the weapons, and you just can't. I don't know. Like, is this another? I'm not comparing it to Bryce Young. Like, let's get one thing straight. But like, is this the, like, if you put Kirk in now, can you put Penix in later? Like, usually we don't see what Bryce was able to overcome happen in the NFL, where you get benched and now it's like, oh, in a month when Kirk's doing bad and we have to, hey, we're going to put him back in. Like, usually guys don't respond well to that. So I don't know. But
I don't know,
it's a
because
bad spot.
And I keep forgetting Kirk is there, but I couldn't believe when he went in at the end of the game and Raheem basically was like, we want to keep our guys healthy. We put in the backups. It's like, do you really put in 39-year-old Kirk Cousins to back? Like, yeah. I don't know. Something stunk out loud. They're lost.
When you're trying to trade him.
Right.
Maybe that's what they're trying. Like, you could say that we're going to trade him. So we're going to let him get some reps. It might have dropped his trade value, but yeah, I don't know. You got the Kirk thing on. If you can't trade him, I don't know why they're trying to ask for picks. I would just try to say, eat the contract and get me out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got, like we said, you're in an issue where you got a rookie quarterback contract and a veteran high paid
who's the same age as Kirk. So
it's very hard. Who's the same age? Maybe old quarterbacks aren't the answer. Maybe age isn't just a number when it comes to quarterbacks.
Just not the most smartest guy in the room move, and it's just like these teams overthink it. But shout out to Bryce at home. Good to see what Bryce Young can do at home. Everyone, God, we want to bash a guy for starting the year on the road back-to-back weeks. Gets back in his home, and look what he does. So 0 points in the NFL is pathetic. That is pathetic.
That doesn't happen.
No, that was embarrassing. So, yeah, that was a good one. My most concerned is kind of a player, kind of a team, and I feel bad because I just watched his press conference and he was almost in tears. Marvin Harrison Jr. and the Arizona Cardinals. Since he's gotten drafted, there have been so many games and moments where he either drops a pass, he isn't connecting with Kyler, they just aren't on the same page on a deep ball or on a key down. In this game, he drops a wide open pass in the middle of the field that probably leads to a touchdown. And there's another play later in the game that he messes up on and him and Kyler don't connect on. And this thing has not gone well from the beginning. And I was talking with, I don't know if it's an expectations thing because of his name or because of what he did at Ohio State or what it is with him, but it just has not felt like a receiver one. Or really anything close to it. And then every time he does this, he typically has bounced back and scored a touchdown in the next week or so. But this whole Marvin Harrison Arizona thing just has not felt right this entire time. And in this game, in this moment, I thought this was a game Arizona absolutely had to have. I know we both picked the Niners, but Mac Jones played again. They didn't play that well. You get a safety and you get up 15-13 in this game with 3 minutes left and you lose it. And it's just, this is why we've struggled to just be on the Kyler and Arizona train from the start. It just, something isn't right with this team and this offense, and now you lose James Conner for the year. I don't know. It's I don't know if I have a question or just what you think it is, but or if you feel the same way, something's just off with this whole experience.
Yeah, and I will say, just in terms of gameplay, before I get into it, I wonder if James Conner being out hurt them trying to run out the clock there, because I feel like James Conner is just a cowbell.
I mean, that cowbell is the word for James Conner.
Yep. We're going to hand the ball off and have fun trying to tackle him. Yep. And they didn't have that, sadly, when they were trying to close him out. The Marvin Harrison thing, I completely agree. Vibes have been off. I don't know. I don't have an answer for why. They just have been. That dropped pass that occurred this game, he just looked away. He just did the classic, I turned up field before. So,
and he jumped.
To me, I think that's a good thing. Yeah, the jump was weird. To me, that's a good thing in one way of, okay, it's not like he just couldn't catch it anymore. He was looking at, when Johnston was going through it, and not to compare them apples to apples, he was just dropping the football. Yeah. Marvin, it's hey, let's see it in and then turn up field, little things like that. but there has been a vibe off. It goes all the way back to last year. I don't know if it's just not being creative with him. I mean, clearly they're scheming him open. I just feel like they're trying to make him more of a possession wide receiver in terms of, like, he just kind of runs vertical. Like, I feel like most of his targets, like 70% when I watch them, are just he just runs it vertical, and we have to hope that Kyler puts it on him or something, or he makes a great play. I don't know what it is. I want to see more creativity in getting him the ball, and I feel like that's never been there. You know, you look at, besides last night, like the Giants with Neighbors, where he just always is usually getting targets, and it doesn't matter where it is, but it's like it could be a quick slant, it could be a bubble screen, he's going to run the deep routes, he's going to, you know, have some opportunities, just kind of sit in his zone. I don't know if we see that with Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, I watch every Giants game, I don't watch every Cardinals game, but I watch a decent amount, I feel like, and there's just not a lot of creativity with him, and I feel like a guy like Marvin Harrison Jr. can do everything, and I would love to see more creativity. I'm not all the way out on him. I also don't like Kyler, so maybe it's a Kyler problem. And I'll throw that excuse. But I would not be surprised if this is a guy who, if he doesn't figure it out in Arizona, goes to like Kansas City and is all of a sudden a pro. You're like, oh, wait, yeah, he is Marvin Harrison Jr. We forgot how great he was in college football. So
I agree. And then on the flip side, the 49ers are 3-0. Really impressive to get to 3-0, but now classic 49ers, every win comes at a cost, and Nick Bosa is now out for the year with a torn ACL. So this team, the farther they go, the less players they have.
Yeah.
But incredible win, 3-0.
Yeah, we'll see how long they don't have the toughest schedule this year, so who knows?
No, I mean, they were last place last year, right? So they technically, that's why everyone had their wins this year, because their schedule was a joke.
I mean, they have the Rams and the Bucks back-to-back weeks after this week playing the Jaguars, but it's like Falcons, Texans, Giants, Cardinals, Panthers, Browns, Titans. I mean,
who's the best quarterback in that group? Like, their defense is still good.
Yeah. I don't even know. Like, Salah is a guy who's like, I don't care who's playing for him. Like, I feel like the defense is going to be fine. So
no, I agree. Good win. I like it. Are we on to awards?
I believe so.
All right. Awards. Offensive player of the week for you.
Jonathan Taylor. This dude is, I think, the best player in football right now. We're talking about, MVPs like Josh Allen. We're talking about Justin Herbert. I think that we need to bring in account more non-quarterback players. I hate how the MVP and like the Heisman is a straight quarterback award these days. Jonathan Taylor is dominating football right now. He goes out 17 carries, 3 touchdowns, 102 yards. He's having a big play every week. The added run game, I think, is unstoppable. We've seen it from him. I feel like he's taking a jump from what it was 2 years ago. So you just got to shout him out. Like I feel like he's a guy right now who could win it every week, get an award. And this week I decided to give it to him. So
love it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy in year 5 he's in that he has just now become a 3-down back. Like, that was always his problem. He was always a top 3 runner, but he couldn't block and he couldn't catch. And now he is running the best he ever has had. He's picking up blocks and he's catching the ball. So it's kind of been that kind of sums up this whole season so far. Everyone's just reaching ceilings that we didn't think was possible. Yet again, Daniel was unbelievable. The defense, I think, is not very good. I think we're going to get exposed pretty soon. Our pass rush isn't very good. Our linebackers aren't very good in coverage. And we've got poor Xavier Howard out there at the other side of the field. But we're making turnovers.
Just today?
We got Mike Hilton, another 30-year-old, because Kenny Moore is going to be out for 3 weeks. So, we're trying the retirement homes back there.
Why not? Yeah.
When you score, no one can stop us. You can't stop us. So it doesn't really matter. We cannot be stopped. This is 3 weeks in a row. We're unreal on offense. I'm enjoying the shit out of this. I'm so shocked when we don't get yards. Whereas I used to live in the world of, for the past 5 years, how does a team get 10 yards? Now I'm shocked when we don't. So really impressive performance. I know everyone wants to be like, oh, the Colts have only beaten the Dolphins and the Titans, blah, blah, blah. Did you watch the Packers this week? There's no guarantees in this league. So you say it, you mentioned it, you texted it. What do good teams do? They do this. They beat the crap out of bad teams. And a really professional performance from a team that always in these spots does not play well.
Especially in that stadium.
Yeah. To get a pick 6 to start the game, the crowd was 50-50. We'll talk about the Titans at the end of this, but It's awesome. 3-0. Very proud of the Colts.
Did you see Giants Twitter getting a hold of Daniel Jones film?
I think it's now turned comical with the Giants fans. I kept seeing the play where Daniel avoided Jeffrey Simmons somehow, ran for 15 yards and didn't fall down, and they're like, all right, now this is a little effed up. Like,
oh, it was that same play.
Yeah.
It was that same play. Some of Giants Twitter, because that was the like, oh, he turned it to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
But the other part of it was there was a receiver that like as he is running for his life trying to avoid everything, I think like the DB, I don't know if it was busted coverage or the DB just was like, yeah, I'm not covered anymore. Like I think it was Pittman on the right side became open and they circled him and it's like, this is the DJ I know, like missing the wide open guy. And you're like, oh, you mean after he's running for his life, just trying to avoid the tackler? That's where we're at. Like we're circling that. That happens in every game. So I thought it was funny to see that. But yeah, it's been great. I mean, he was awesome again. And I think that showed it was good. I think to get, as a Colts observer, it was good to get that behind you because that was the Saints thing. They're like, oh, but what happens in week 3? So now that's behind us.
And the second we play bad, everyone's going to be like, I told you, like, this was never, like, it's going to happen. I don't really care, like, because whatever the middle ground in this is still going to be better than, I would say, 20% or 20 teams in the NFL. Like, we're still going to be a top 10 team in the NFL offensively.
Who's played, first of all, like, that division, my Lord, what do you get one up there? Who's played this sound 3 weeks in a row?
Yeah,
the Chargers, the Colts.
EPA-wise, we're with all the best teams in the NFL in every statistic. So I don't know what you want from them.
Yeah, I'm just thinking like who's played 3 games that you're like that's 3 great wins. Whether it's opponent, just pure football, like not getting lucky. Besides the Chargers, I mean maybe the Bills, I guess.
Like, I guess, but I mean they didn't.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I think it speaks a lot. It's not. It doesn't feel like a fluke right now. So
it doesn't.
Good for you.
It doesn't. It's awesome. Thank you. My offensive player of the week is Baker. Another game-winning drive. 3 weeks in a row. I know it's 3 weeks in a row. They've won on the last seconds, and I know all the nerds this summer are going to be like one possession games. This is going to regress. Blah blah blah. He throws for 233, runs for 44 yards. What I'm most impressed by is third year in a row of a new coordinator. 3 starting offensive linemen out, and you just don't hear excuses. Like how many teams, including our own for many years and so many other bad teams, are like 3 linemen down, they have no chance. Like it's just already over. Like even 1 lineman down for most teams is like we're done. And the Bucs just continue to find ways to win, and they continue to find ways to score. And I know this game was won at the end, but they really were handling this game for the majority, and then obviously the weird kick and all that. But I just like, this is what good teams do. There's no excuses. There's no, oh, this guy's out. Like, they just win. Whereas the other bad teams, like you and I have been a part of, like, if one guy's out, we're like, my mic dropped. We're like, that's it. Like, they've got no chance. So I just think Baker deserves credit. And just the culture in Tampa Bay is awesome. They just win. It doesn't matter who's playing. And Baker's a huge reason why. So he deserved an award, I thought.
Yeah, I agree. And how many... I think they were the only one that escaped the field goal.
Yeah, they did. They're the only ones.
So I think that speaks a lot, but I agree. Good one there.
Thanks. Defensively, what do you got?
I'm going with Isaiah Rodgers and the Vikings unit. Overall, I think they had 4 fumbles forced and 2 picks, 2 touchdowns, both Isaiah Rodgers. That forced fumble, I think, was my favorite play of the weekend. Just the punch. I forget who I was talking to my parents and Abby, and I forget what game it was. It was a college game. Maybe it was the Nebraska game on Bryce Underwood. Like, I was just like, I don't understand how these guys are so good at punching the football out. Like, that wasn't a thing 5 years ago, and I know we've talked about it multiple times in the pod, like once a year. Yeah. I think it's so cool to watch the Peanut Tillman punch. And
it's the best.
That punch was great. Just land on it, pick it up, take it to the house. Overall, I think that's a sign for the Bengals of like, either we need to get somebody in here who can maybe compete somewhat with this offensive firepower that we have, or we need to burn it all down and rebuild. So curious to see which route they go.
The Vikings game, that was a really weird one too. I just kept refreshing it. I'm like, why is they up? How are they up 30-0? Like, I just didn't understand what was happening. The Bengals are worse in the NFL in almost every offensive category, with 2 of the best receivers in the NFL. So, It's not looking good for them. I'm
No.
going to switch mine. I originally had the Pittsburgh because they had 5 turnovers. I'm going Carolina because they got the shutout. Because
They shut
Pittsburgh,
the team out.
like, okay, yes, they won again, 5 turnovers. They've gotten, like, their defense is bad. Like, they gave up 400 yards to New England. The more I watched it and looked into it, I have no idea how they won this game. I think New England fumbled on the 1. They fumbled like 3 times. Ramondre Stevenson can't hold on to anything. Drake May got concussed. He stayed in the game, threw a terrible throw, and got picked. I don't know how the Steelers won this game. I feel like I've been saying that for 4 years and why I always pick against them. But they found a way to win. Carolina deserves it. A shutout in the NFL is hard to do. Penix throws for less than 200 yards. That was way more of a true defensive performance. Because, I picked the Pittsburgh game. I went and watched it. I have no idea how they won. So I'm switching to Carolina.
The next gen stats came out. They did not run at TJ Watt. So they went left all game.
Who is the Steelers?
Defensive coordinator?
Yeah.
Terrell Austin.
What are you doing?
Let's learn about Terrell Austin. He was the Bengals defensive coordinator in 2018. The Lions from 2014 to 17. So.
I just don't get it.
No. What did the Bengals do in 2018?
Can't be great.
What? They went 6-10, letting up 455 points against. Which, let's do some math here.
28 points a game. 16 games, right?
2, third worst in the NFL. Then the Lions between 2014 and 17, I would imagine that wasn't good.
That had to be in the years where they win a game, right?
That would be my thought. So
I don't get it, man. I just move them. So I don't know. Pittsburgh. I have just classic Pittsburgh. I have no idea how they're winning these games, but shout out to Carolina. That's who deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
You're miscellaneous.
Just field goal blocked units.
It's
a 3-phase game, and I feel like it was a 3-phase weekend when we look at it. A lot of college football, I think the third phase mattered, but in the NFL, I don't know what it is, but it just feels like the third phase means more and more. And the field goal block units, that changed how many games? I mean, the Eagles blocked 2, took one of the house to win, and then cover, which was like the biggest deal. Yep. The Cleveland Browns, which we need to talk about that game, block a field goal, get the ball in the field goal range, they kick it. The New York Jets block a field goal, take it to the house to take the lead. There was one more. We had a extra point blocked.
We blocked
but that
one.
was just because you blocked one. Like, it was everywhere. Every game it felt like was having field goal block attempts, and I enjoy it. I thought it was awesome, although like they all went against me, because it's good to see that people are trying to find new ways to win football games, and like the breakdowns of how they're happening. Like the guy who did it for the Browns, I forget his name. He has like 37 pass deflections, and he's like a rotation player. Like that guy's just known for getting his hands up. I think it's his 6th blocked field goal in his career. That's awesome.
Like
that's a guy who just finds a way. Like I don't know what he does. I don't know what he practices, but like he's getting his body on somebody else's body. He's getting his hands up in the air. And he's blocking kicks. Yeah, like that's awesome. And I think it's a good thing because maybe teams are going to start trying to do stuff more, get creative. I don't know. I remember being like, I don't know, junior high or whatever, like Fisher's football camp, and there was a session, and I don't know what it was, but there was a block punt session. And it was like offense, defense, and I was like, I'm going to go over here. Like, I'm going to see, and it was the special teams coach at Fisher's. I forget which guy it was. It might have been our D coordinator, our offensive coordinator, maybe. No, who's the blonde guy freshman year? I think it was the wide receivers coach. He was like blonde. I don't remember, but it might have been him because it was just like, I don't know. Anyways, but I just remember they were like, yeah, like we're going to teach you how to like come off the edge and block a punt. and there was only two kids it was me and some other kid. I don't know who it was, but everyone else was doing like all the fun stuff, and we were like, no, we're gonna learn how to block punts today, and it was so fun. Award? No, I won most improved tackler in 5th grade. I remember. But I might have won an award that year actually. I'll have to look through the. But either way, like. I think it's fun. I think it's cool. I think it's things that get overlooked in practice, and it's good to see that like when teams do it, it pays off. So
I don't get why no one at the end of the games, Isaiah Simmons did it last year for you guys. Like, I don't care if it's the last kick of the game. I don't care about the flag. I would try to jump over every time. If you hit them, they redo it. I would just try to jump over again.
Yeah.
Like, is there a limit? Like, why does if you jump high enough, these athletes, like, even if the lineman stands up, and they're not going to get them in time. I don't get it.
Like, do anything you want.
I mean, the Jets guy was really impressive because Will McDonald, he didn't run. He literally leapfrogged from his stance over the line.
Yeah.
That was insane. And then it's the best when they're the ones that recover it. Like Isaiah, when they block it, get it, and then house it, it's just sick. But yeah, changes games. We love the third phase. My miscellaneous is Trey Tucker. He just had an insane game despite a really bad Raiders performance. I didn't realize it until I was watching it. And he's kind of been really good all season. He had 8 catches for 145 yards and 3 touchdowns. Like maybe one of the most hidden stat lines of the season. So I thought he deserved a shout out. Getting into some of the games. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say great one there because I specifically remember checking in on this game during the air show. And every time I looked at it, Trey Tucker was getting the football. It was awesome. So I agree. Good call there.
Bad game. We'll get into some of these games before we go into Bozo. Bad game for the Raiders. Part 1 of nepotism week is what I'm calling this week.
Bruce Pearl.
So today, Bruce Pearl purposely steps down 3 weeks before the season so his son can step in and get a multi-year deal. The Raiders' offensive line is horrific.
Yeah.
Do you know who the Raiders' offensive line coach is?
I am aware.
It is Brennan Carroll, Pete Carroll's son, who has experience but never the main offensive line coach at any spot. And this offensive line, 2 weeks in a row now, has no clue what they're doing. And the Raiders are always in 3rd and 10 or longer. They're always in 3rd and long. This offensive line's a mess. And then I'm going to talk at the end about a guy who's might be on the Mount Rushmore with Brian Callahan, who got a job because of his dad. So
Sonny Weaver Jr.
Yes, it's just nepotism in full effect at the highest levels in sports. So really good to see.
No, I think that's fair. I think we have to talk about the Packers Browns.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah,
just tough. Like, it's a defense that I get is like one of the best defenses in the league, but it felt like a play with your food game. And this is what we talk about. Like, everyone wants to give the Colts crap. This is what people thought could be the worst, least talented offense in the league. Yep. You don't do anything. Like, and then on the other side, you have a Packers offense that was doing everything they could to like blow teams out of the water. It felt like they honestly could have throttled down more, but it felt like 24 points was their baseline. And then just a very disappointing performance, I think, from all aspects. Jordan Love did not look good. Josh Jacobs was not good. Guys were not getting the football. They had a lot of stalled out drives. A bad, inexcusable pick that lost them the game because it immediately leads to a touchdown. And then you're able to, get it down, get a chance to score, and it gets blocked. We're talking third phase there. It's just, for a team that started out so hot to come in and have this bad of a performance, I think is inexcusable. And to lose the way that they did, I think is inexcusable. And I hope as a team, as a guy who's kind of rooting for the Packers to make a run this year, this has to be turned around. Like, you can't do this. I hope it's early in the season. It stinks. It's a wake-up call. I hope it's a wake-up call and they adjust and they don't take anything lightly, because the worst thing an NFL team can do is we play the great teams really, really great and we play the poor teams really, really poor. That's never a recipe for success. So hopefully they figure it out. I think they have a great opportunity to show that that's in the past. If Dallas competes with them, I think there's going to be some warning signals. But you go Dallas, Bengals, Cardinals, Packers, Panthers, before you play the Eagles on Monday Night Football. If they lose one of those games, I think that there's actually an area for concern here. So, and when I say area for concern, I mean like they're not as what we think they are. That's
right.
what I mean by area of concern.
I mean, yeah, the whole world was saying this is the Super Bowl champs, including us. Like, they clearly read the press clippings. Embarrassing. All they had to do was run it every time and punt in the second half. They would have won. Jordan Love, that pick was unacceptable. That was gross. You nailed it. 1.9 ADOT, I think. I mean, most penalties in the LaFleur era. Just a totally unprepared, cocky team, and that's what happens. So, I love Flacco saying, like, we said all week we needed to play complimentary football, and we went out there and did it. Like, you guys, this offense, can't do anything.
There was not one thing the offense did to win that.
No, you were given the ball
defense,
in the 20.
Yeah, the defense made the play.
Yes.
All of them. And then special team. All you guys had to do was get one first down. And you know what? You did it. You got the first down. But
this is actually sickening for Browns fans to win because like put in Dylan Gabriel. Like what are you doing with Flat? Like this is ridiculous.
That's when you're like, okay, we understand what you have in the locker room if those guys aren't playing. And you want to talk about well coached, by the way. The center putting the ball right where it needs to go so that they're able to get that snap off. Everyone getting a line. How many times do we see in situations like that where the clock has to get like the we had to stop the clock. We gotta spike it. Do guys not get lined up properly? Does something happen? No. Catch is made, falls to the ground. Center puts the ball right where it needs to be. Everyone lines up. They look around, make sure they're good, spike it. That does not happen in football for all 32 teams, and it's inexcusable, and it points to other things where it's like bad coaching loses football games, and it was not the offense, it was defense, special teams, and great coaching that I think won for the Browns.
Totally. It's one of the rare, like, the coach is good, the team's just been bad forever. Like, Stefanski's just, everyone acknowledges he's a good coach, he's just got nothing, so it's just a weird situation in Cleveland.
I hope he gets fired.
I know, I bet you do. I bet you do. I want him fired if I was looking for a coach. Bills, Dolphins, any thoughts?
Dolphins competed, but I mean, I guess Mike McDaniel saved himself a job for another week. But
Seahawks, Saints.
No.
Okay.
That was a
the people
blowout,
who are loving
really.
the Rattler tape might want to chill out. And then last one before, because I know Bozo, we're talking about one other one. Chiefs at Giants, I think is it.
I mean, what else is there to say? Dallas defense sucks. Like, let's not get... That was a fluke last week. This team is terribly coached. Like, the coaching was absurd. I don't even know, I don't even remember, where it starts. I mean, the biggest thing to me was not falling on the fumble. Just fall on the fumble. That's elementary stuff. We would have won the game if we fall on the fumble.
It's not even you would have won. The game was so winnable.
And the offense is terrible. I don't get how a guy like Neighbors, I know that they're locking him down. Just feed him the football.
Feed him the football.
The only bright spot was Stadabo, who
he's awesome.
Is, I think, the perfect... I think a dying breed. He said how he's like an old school guy. He's the best first, second down back you can ask for. Can pass. I mean, he puts his body into guys to chip block. He does not go down the first time he hit. Tyrone Tracy, it sucked seeing him go down, but there was a clear difference in how he ran the football with Tracy versus Stadabo. Stadabo falls forward. He's not going to go down by one guy. He's able to catch the ball in the backfield. He's going to make blocks. I think that he is a legit steal, and nothing's flashy in terms of tape, or not tape. I'm sorry, skills, athleticism, he whatever, how fast he is. He makes plays. He's a football player. So he was the only bright spot that I would love to see. But other than that, I don't even know what there's to say. We're just so bad. We're so bad.
I mean, that goal to go sequence, I just couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't, if that's not so symbolic of the Dabble era, and Russ too. Russ is a part of that. Dallas's defense, no shit, Spags wasn't going to let him throw moon balls. We all should have been more. But to throw the ball into the stands twice and run a QB draw in the 3 of the 4 plays.
The last one also went out of the back of the end zone.
Right, yeah, just throw. There's no chance on any of them.
there was zero opportunity to score a touchdown out of any of those 4 plays. And we forget that we have we're still talking about the poor red zone offense.
Right.
Like I get we had a touchdown in the red zone, but we have the worst red zone offense I think I've ever seen.
Yeah. Dark's
once we get the ball in the red zone, you're like, uh-oh, this isn't going to be a touchdown.
Yeah.
So, and then the Graham Gano thing, I don't know how that happens 2 years in a row, but Brian Daboll now ranks 186th out of 204 NFL head coaches who have coached a minimum of 50 games in career winning percentage. The Giants brought back 10 of 11 starters on offense, the same head coach and the same GM from last year's 3-14 team. They've now lost 17 of their last 20 games. Our first 3 weeks since 2017. So we went 0-3 in 2017, then 1-2, 1-2, 0-3, 0-3, 2-1, 1-2, 1-2, 0-3.
I mean, this goes back to the earlier point. I know you already don't like him. You should hate Josh Allen even more because he's the reason we drafted Anthony, and he's the reason that Shane and Daboll got hired when Josh is his own outlier. It has nothing to do with anyone else but Josh. And
he got better when Daboll
your team
left.
got affected. Yeah, your team got affected by it because and anyone would have done it, right? This isn't really a Mara thing. Anyone would have hired Daboll. It's not like he was right? It wasn't like a dumb hire. They hired Daboll. But everyone got fooled, and your team, unfortunately, was the one that had to take it.
Yeah, and I'm not mad about the Daboll hire. You go back in time, you do that again. I'm mad that we kept him for another year. There's a complete difference, I think. Hindsight's 2020, right? If we could always make for certain, and we haven't done a good job, and I get Mara trying to be he's sick and tired of overturning people, but at some point we know the answer. And it's why was Shane Bowen not fired? Well, he can't fire Shane Bowen right after firing Wink Martindale. He can't go through two DCs. Yep. But he also hasn't fired Mike Caff. It's so stupid. We're going to talk about it every week, and so there's no need or we could talk about it every week. But
Josh Allen's ruined your life.
Yeah, he's ruined my life. He's the most selfish player in football. I'll say that every time.
Yeah.
I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to add to it, but I don't even. Oh yeah, every player who leaves is awesome, and I think that goes back to coaching. We have the most talented roster, and we have the most underperforming roster in terms of talent in the NFL. I think if you take our roster and put it on any of the other 31 coaching staffs, maybe 2 we underperform, or we perform like this. I truly think when you look at it, we have the best defensive line in football. We have one of the best receivers in football. We have overall, Wando Robinson is truly a great receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, defensively, we have guys who make great plays and bad plays, but I don't know if we have a glaring weakness besides the interior offensive line.
Yep.
I just don't understand how we are so bad. And I think everybody who leaves is great. Everybody.
Yeah.
So, we're not the most talented team. I know we're a below average team in talent, but we have so much great talent in places. I just don't understand how we are in this spot. So,
it's bad. I'm sorry.
We'll see.
All right. Caterpillar-wise, I'm up 2. Got the Seattle one, thankfully. The Bills did not cover. Again, Josh Allen hurt you there.
So, I think he knows who I am.
There's something there.
Josh, if you listen to the podcast, just slide in the DM. We can hash it out on a podcast.
Yeah. But just a 2-point lead. So we're both on the Ravens tonight. Should be a fun one. Let's get to the Bozo Dubbed Over. Bozo Dubbed Over, sponsored by Nathaniel Hackett and Brandon Staley on their Mount Rushmore. Who is on your Bozo of the week?
I'm doing the Texans.
Yeah.
It's bad. I think that they're the worst offense in 40 years.
38 points in 3 games.
It's inexcusable. Their offensive line is just abysmal. We had mentioned it last year when you go into our last week when he was most concerning.
Yep.
I just don't understand how CJ Stroud has fallen this far. I don't know if it's a Stroud thing. And then when we look at it like that, and that's just a different conversation, but game management, I feel like this is a game they should have won. You mentioned it where it's you're in the red zone with 3 timeouts and 1:48 left.
Yeah, two timeouts.
Two timeouts. Do you let them score where now you have to get 7 and you say, we have 2 timeouts to get 7 with less than 2 minutes left, or do you try to stop them? You're going to have 0 timeouts, but you have a chance to only have to get 3. I think the obvious answer is you try to stop them. I mean, this is not a great offense. And we in the modern NFL, it takes 2 plays to get the ball in a field goal range when you kick the ball off. So that made no sense, I think, to end the game. I think it lost it for them.
I agree.
Well, they might have still lost it, but I mean, 2 turnovers though. Like, you go fumble, interception to end the game. What total was 3 turnovers, I think.
Yeah, Nico had a fumble when they were about to go score. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just no one recovers from 0-3, I feel like, in the NFL. When we talk about disappointing seasons, I think the Texans might be the most disappointing team in the NFL. Everyone had them penciled in, AFC South champions. They don't have to do much. The floor is so high. I kept saying the ceiling's the floor at this point. I think the floor is actually a trapdoor, and it's a lot lower than we think. Because 0-3 with the teams that they had to play to start the season, inexcusable.
And the funniest part of that is you don't have to do much. Like, they've given up 17 points, like 20 points in the Rams. They don't, like we said it. All they have to do is score like a little over 20 a week, and they're going to win. They can't do it. Okay, so I think D'Amico just watched the Bucs do it last week and got the idea of it, because I think the Bucs let Chubb score on that one before Baker went down and got the touchdown. But different score, different context. 148 left, 2 timeouts. The ball is on the 10-yard line. You've only given up 10 points. If you stop them on the first 2 downs, like, there's a chance they throw. Like, they weren't just going to go run, kick, and just give it back and just give up. Like, so you could have gotten an incompletion, a turnover, the clock could have stopped. And like you said, worst case, you have a full minute to get 45 yards, 40 yards. Kaimi Fairbairn, I know he missed one earlier, but like, pretty good kicker in the league, versus a team that can't move the ball at all for 3 weeks. Now has to go 75 yards. Like, that is insane to me. I did not understand it. I thought
scored 10
really
points
stupid.
all game, but that's going to be the drive.
Right? Yes. Like, insane against the Jags, who, like, okay, they kind of got beat up by Jake Browning, but like have played decent defensively for 2 out of 3 weeks and have a pass rush at least, like, that you don't want to face. And your offensive line is terrible. So why would you trust them to make it the full way without a mistake?
Yeah.
No, they're a mess. It's the most disappointing for sure. So, my dubbed over is a guy who I just like being there in real time for this. I'm grateful is what I want to say, because you and I have been searching
greatness. You were watching greatness in person. You're gonna tell your kids about this moment.
And look, I was trying to be classy. Everyone's booing. I'm trying to stop the boos. Support your coach. I don't want this guy to go anywhere. I need him. He's so fired. So you and I were like, I don't know if we're going to find anyone to make the Mount Rushmore anymore. Like, this might just, we don't want to force it. I mean, start getting it ready. Call the people, start getting it ready.
We need to start construction now.
The game starts weird, whatever. We're up 17-6. It's 3rd and 8 on R47 with 5 minutes left. 3rd and 8, R47, 5 minutes left. They go incomplete. 4th and 8 at our own at R47. 17-6. 5 minutes to go in the half. I know our offense has done well, but you have a chance to either go for it or pin us and be like, you know what? Like, the Colts get the ball to start the second half. Let's just try to pin them. Try to get to half 17-6 maybe. Maybe we go for it because Cam Ward's kind of playing decent. Like, poor Cam Ward. I think he's really, really good, but he's got no help. No, they go, let's line up for a 64-yarder with 5.5 to go, 17-6, chasing 3 points so desperately for some reason. Miss it by a mile. We get it back. Shane, not his greatest moment. We don't do very well. We miss a field goal. So it's like, okay, that actually somehow might work out for the Titans. They're getting the ball back. 3rd and 2 on the Indianapolis 40, 47 seconds to go. They run it for 1 yard. Okay, so it's now 4th and 1, 17-6 still, at the Colts 39-yard line. Shane calls timeout because Shane's like, if we stop them, if they miss the kick, whatever they decide to do, it makes sense. The Colts want the ball back with 2 timeouts then after that, right? The whole time, no one's coming on the field. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, why is no one on the field yet?
Yep.
After like the 3-minute, 5-minute break, because you know how long these damn timeouts are in the NFL, the Titans have no one on the field. The Titans then call timeout because they can't
needed more
decide.
time. They needed more time.
He said it.
Yep.
He admitted it. Which, stop admitting stuff. Like, he did. He said it, Justin. No, I'm telling you, this guy.
Did he?
He did. He said we didn't know what we wanted to do yet. So they don't know if they want to kick the 56-yarder or go for it. He, with like 15 seconds left in the clock, after 2 timeouts, sends the kicking team out there. They don't even come close to getting the snap off. He hadn't
even taken his steps back yet.
No. Not even close. Delay of game. So then it's now 4th and 6 at our 44. So at this point, Justin, I would be like, you know what? I've already seen a 64-yarder. This is going south. Let me put the offense back out there, 4th and 6. Or maybe, again, let's just punt it and live to see another day. He doubles down and tries a 61-yarder after what we just watched 5 minutes before in real time. And they miss it. We go down in 3 plays, kick a field goal, and now we're up 20-6 to end the half. I was in disbelief in real time watching it. The boos were the entire half. It was, I don't know, man. I've never seen a worse in-game sequence. All I wanted to do was just tell Justin, I can't wait for you to watch this. It's just, he's the worst coach in the league.
Yeah, I think that the Bozo Award, when we say that presented by Brandon Staley and Nathaniel Hackett, like I think that he trumps both of them.
Yeah, that's what Stott said the same thing.
Because when you said like it's bad, I'm like, oh, I'm curious what this will be. The timeout.
The timeout.
And then the delay of game is so, like we had just mentioned about how great Stefanski was, like the ability to get guys lined up to spike the football without time running out. This, where it's like you need that much time, it was truly, it is insane. And then he goes back and admits it, like, and we forget this is week 3.
Yeah.
What was it?
Yeah.
2 weeks ago where we were mentioning he didn't know what a catch was?
I mean, this team's Michael Pittman after the game. He's like, honestly, the way they came out, started warming up, and the way they came out of the tunnel for the starting lineups, he's like, we knew it. He's like, they had no juice. Like, he's like, this team is done after 2 weeks. Like, our players are openly admitting how bad it looked on the other side of the field before the game was kicked off, and it's week 3. There's so much football left, and poor Cam Ward is just stuck in the middle of it.
I was trying to think, like, do we get a Cam Ward family member mixtape sometime soon?
I mean, the dad. Are there any videos from the dad this week? Because I know we've seen him the first 2 weeks.
I don't know if we saw them, but I saw a bunch of Titans fans when I was watching that halftime end. They were showing Titans fans in Cam Ward jerseys, and it was so funny because it was not as much anger of just like pure like. You know, like just like, huh? What are we doing right now? I went and looked because they showed, and I think we talked, like they showed the coordinator talking to him. I was like, that guy's like John Fassel. I think he's a great. Yeah, he's a well-known special teams coordinator.
Remember, he was the one being like, please, dumbass, go kick the field goal.
Yes, go kick the field goal.
Line the offense up in week 1.
Like, how do we not talk through? Because then, like. That was a situation it could have almost played out like this. Like, how do we get here? How does this happen that we get to this point where we don't understand situational game moments?
It's week 3.
And they said they didn't have the right ball.
Apparently,
how do we not have a guy, look, there's
add it to the list of responsibilities. Add it to the resume. Well, and you have experience.
I'm a first ball boy. I know how to make sure that the right football is coming onto the field, Zach. Not only was it, the famous 8th grade Creekside game.
I mean, you won us the game. You won us the game.
And it might be one of my greatest athletic achievements. I was the guy, people forget, freshman year football, after I was benched for the 5th quarter and I refused to play, I was the guy who would go get the kicking ball, come back, and I would stand pretty much next to Brent Hayes with it so that when he had to go into the game to hold it, I was there to give him the football. Like, it's not hard. It's one guy's job.
You were doing that in 8th grade. And
8th grade and 9th grade, I literally became a ball boy. Like, Brian, fly me out. I don't need that much. I don't need $100,000. $20,000 and like some free pizza. Like you give me, how many games are left? What, 14?
14.
Give me 1.5K a week. Travel paid for, and a case of Miller Lite and a large pizza.
That seems fair.
And and we'll call it even. I'll stand there, and I'll make sure that the right football is on the field. It is not that hard. It is not that hard.
And again, don't admit. That's like AR saying he's tired.
Admit it.
Shut up. Like, don't say it.
This isn't corporate finance. We don't need to say, my bad. Just hide it. Just, hey, there. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Yeah, we got to learn from it. That's, like, just say that. I don't know what we wanted to do. What's Cam Ward, like, who's talking to him? Is he just, or is it like he's got two guys on his shoulder, like Fassel and like trying to tell, like, how do we not make that decision? It makes no sense.
The video showed Fassel talking to him, and I wish it was like the NBA when the mic'd up came out like 2 days later. Like, if we could just hear that, because I'm sure Fassel's like, I don't, are you sure you want to kick it? Like, did you just watch Joey Sly and miss the other one by him? I don't know. It would be hard for a coach to know you're fired. Like, these assistants, they're like, start looking for houses somewhere. Like, we're done. It's bad. It's bad. People thought this team. Remember all summer, like, the Titans are going to surprise people. We're like, has anyone seen the Titans roster? This coach.
Their over-under was 7.5 wins.
Oh my God. I mean, they're not even close.
In what world was this an 8-win team?
This was never. No, I don't get it, man.
Speaking of, I don't know, this is a change of subject, but it was like, there was an article where it's like what happened to Brian Dable, and I guess when he was the OC at Buffalo, did you see this? He was like, he had everybody stand up, and he's like, coaches, if you've been fired from a job, sit down. And all the coaches sit down. He's like, players, if you've been cut or traded from a team, like, sit down. And like everyone, like basically he was going through these things and he was sitting down. And I guess Trubisky sat down when he shouldn't have because he technically wasn't cut. He just didn't get re-signed. But the only one left standing was Josh Allen. He goes, Josh, how many offers did you have out of high school? He said 0. And he said, sit down. I want everyone to take a moment and remember where you came from. It's like, what happened to that Brian Dable?
Where's that guy?
Yeah. Anyways, back to Callahan. That's a fired guy. Nepotism.
It's nepotism week. I mean,
and like, you know, like, does he ride with his dad home? What's that conversation like in the car?
Well, I think he's a little annoyed with Dad because Dad was supposed to be the savior, and this offensive line can't block for shit. So, I mean, this guy's like the godfather of the line block. Like, I don't. Look, right. What is that? I think it's like when I played bad growing up, and not that like my dad would like yell at me or anything like that. But my dad was also my coach. I never wanted to get in the car with my dad after the game because he would talk about the game. I didn't want to hear about it. So if they ever drove separate, I'm like, oh, I'm going to my mom's car. I think they might be doing something similar. Where he's like, hey, I'm going to
go with mom.
Yeah, like I'm not going with Coach Callahan. I'm not going with Dad.
Well, as you know, I got lucky. Like, my dad never really like was like he just kind of like the only time he would get mad at me is like if he thought I quit or like didn't play hard. That was like effort was a big thing. So I've always like, you know what, especially in the modern age with like these parents, I'm like, I'm going to ensure that like I'm not one of those parents. If my kid has this bad of situational awareness, if he's a coach, like if I'm 72 and my 40-year-old son is a head coach at any level and I have any idea that something like this is going on, I raised you better than this.
I agree. That's you let them down. And like that's where it's like, what did I do as a parent? Where did I go wrong?
Yeah. That truthfully, I think that would be the line for me. Like anything below, if you're a head coach, situational awareness, I'm fine with. That's the line. That's when Justin as a parent would get a little fired up.
I was here. Can we support our team?
Hey, quiet down. Let him make a decision. Let him make a decision. What if he came out and he said like the boos were too loud, I couldn't think clearly. That would be a better answer than we couldn't decide.
I mean, Titans Texans coming up this Sunday. Talk about just a.
And it's like, I'm sorry, we're talking about 15 minutes about this guy.
Yeah,
I mean, what's the thing coaches say? Like, what is the thing about coaches that they always say where they're like, I don't care if you make the wrong decision in a play as long as you give it 110% effort. Yeah. The worst thing you can do is not make a decision.
Yeah.
That's what Callahan just did as a coach. Like, if you make a decision as a head coach and it's wrong, you can go in, hey, that we thought whatever, it was a wrong decision, hindsight 2020, blah, blah, blah. He didn't make a decision. And then he admitted to not making a decision. Insane.
I couldn't imagine Shane on the other sideline in his headset. Like, does he not know what he's going to do? Like, they got probably confused because of how confused the Titans were. Like,
I want to see a picture of the two booths.
Yep.
And like if all the Colts assistants are just
Yep.
Like
when the
turn to
kicking
the
team
right.
came out
Yeah.
and they saw there were
We're
10
like-
seconds on the delay of game, like they were like, and then they kept the kicking unit out.
And then the Titans guys are just sitting back like, you're.
Yeah, like we're fired. We're fired.
What is that post game speech? I don't even know. We need to. I could talk about this guy forever. I mean, this is.
No, now the Titans are. I can't. 1:00. Like Colts don't play till 4. Like 1:00. Titans Texans already. Here's a sneak peek. Number 1 TV. Titans Texans. I can't get enough of this
100%.
guy. I can't get enough of this guy.
No, it was like it's like Hackett. Like Staley legitimately made me mad
Yes.
because I was a charge. I was like had the Chargers takes.
He was really
Hackett
Justin
was
Herbert's
hilarious to watch.
Yep.
This guy is like that level where it's like it's not even a funny. It's must watch TV.
Yeah, I mean, this was the most similar thing we've seen to Hackett in the Seattle game when he didn't call timeout and then kicked a 67-yarder to try to win the game, and it wasn't even close. So, yeah, this was shades of Hackett. But no, to do it, this guy's, it's good to have another guy on the list potentially.
Yeah, a Hall of Famer, the Bozo dubbed over award. That was enough.
And he was.
That was the best 20 minutes I think of the podcast so far this season.
It was between Callahan and Steichen for the head coaching job, so that was. I think we made the right call.
Escape that one.
Yeah. All right, that was a lot. We didn't like bad situational awareness, so there you go. Ravens Lions tonight should be a good one. We'll have you ready for next week. Any closing thoughts?
If I stop doing the podcast, that means I went to pilot school.
Okay.